Today we'll be unboxing the man who built a suit of armor out of a box of scraps in a cave. I'll rip it open with Newman. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we'll be unboxing Marvel Legends Tales of Suspense Retro Collection Iron Man from Hasbro Toys. That's a mouthful. Created in 1963 by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby, arms dealer Tony Stark was critically injured during the Vietnam War and taken hostage by enemy combatants that demanded he make them a weapon. Instead, he created a suit of armor that helped him escape. He returns to the United States as Iron Man, a one-man machine of war against criminals. So today we're finally going to be rounding out our Avengers roster, the OG Avengers, of course. I'm really excited. I got my Iron Man from Big Bad Toy Store, obviously, as you can see from the box. I will be releasing a video on Friday of a Marvel Legends Loki, and that will actually complete the Avengers setup. But let's not talk about the future, let's focus on the present. Let's live in the moment as I unbox this toy. We're going to ignore that toy. It's gone into the ether, much like this plastic, and this plastic, and this box. Be golden. Alright, Iron Man. And look at this nice retro packaging we got here, folks. It's very reminiscent of the packaging of the Iron Man figures from the 90s, based off of the that 90s cartoon. On the back of the package, we've got the instructions for all of the modular pieces, with some very retro design elements going on there. I'll completely forget about these instructions later on in the review, so you can watch me struggle in a few minutes. Now, I'm a big fan of these retro card back displays. It's like they're giant toys for adults. I really do like them. I like these a lot more than the generic black Marvel Legends boxes. It's really a shame to crack this open. This feels like a display within itself, but, you know, I gotta do this review, so I gotta open this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and cut from the back of it, just make a nice square, because you can't really rip it off like, say, a Masters of the Universe card back. This thing is really secure. Not that the Motu stuff isn't secure, this is just, that thing's baked in there. Here are some not instructions. Alright, so here we have a look at the figure inside the plastic. Looks very beautiful, doesn't it? I really do think it's high time to go ahead and take a closer look at this figure, but in order to do that, we are going to have to change positions. Okay, so it looks like there are no ties holding this thing down, so that's excellent. It's just a simple grab and go. Alright, now, on first inspection, this is a very good looking figure. I really do like the look of this. It's very retro, very bulky, very 1950s sci-fi automaton. Now, on first inspection, it may look like it's just one solid color. However, it does look like they've used a bit of a wash on this for the crevices of the suit. And obviously, the centerpiece, the arc reactor, is painted white. And as you can see inside the helmet, there's eyes. The slits on the mouth, that's just painted black. But you can actually see the details of the eyes. It's very good. Now, going over articulation, the head goes all the way around. Arms go up to about here, which is a lot farther than I expected. There is a bicep cut as well as a shoulder pivot. So the shoulders go all the way around, and then the biceps go all the way around on both arms. Joints are nice and tight, not too tight, not too loose. That's good. Let's go ahead and check out the elbows. They look double jointed, but it looks like it's restricted because of the gauntlet. That's fine. It doesn't have to be super flexible. The wrists go back and forth very well. There's a nice bend to that. Let's check out the other arm. And it's the same deal with this arm. It looks like a double jointed elbow, but you really can't do anything with it because of that gauntlet. And the wrist goes very well on that. There is an ab crunch, sort of. I guess this wouldn't be considered an ab crunch, but there is a pivot in the waist, which is very good. The skirt is made of a softer plastic, and the knees look to be double jointed very well. Those are very nice, actually. Makes up for the elbows. Looks like there is a thigh cut up at the top. He can do the splits. That's impressive. That's very impressive. There's no boot cut, which is fine. That's fine. Let's check the ankles. Ankles are super duper tight. There's a nice pivot to them. You can get them rocked very well, and they can go back and forth. Man, this one's really tight. These ankles are super tight. This thing ain't falling down for nothing. So that's good. That's good. So all the articulation on this is very good. The lack of articulation in the abs and the elbows. I mean, it's Iron Man. I mean, how flexible do you want this guy? Let's go over the accessories. So you've got an extra pair of hands, the blaster hands. Looks like there's no peg hole in there, so we can't add effects. That's a shame. Next up, we've got some blast effects. Obviously not for the hands because there's no peg hole, so definitely for the feet. They look good. You know, they're pretty basic. And we've got some smoke effects. I don't know what to make of these. I don't know if I like them or not. I think they're fine. Now, FYI, at this point, I had already forgotten about the instructions on the back, and I have no idea what I'm actually supposed to use those for. And lastly, we've got an extra head, this is a really good looking head. I really do like this retro look. He looks like Burt Reynolds. This looks fantastic. This is really good. The eyes they're piercing. But back to the golden boy right here. Let's go ahead and get that head off and put on that excellent Tony Stark head. That mop top 60s, 70s demon in a bottle head. I love it. The head swap out is very easy. It's very nice and satisfying. There's a nice pop, so the heads nest well. I don't know if I like that head on there, though. I think it looks a little too small. I think I'm going to stick with the Iron Man helmet, which is a shame because I really do like that Tony Stark head by itself. Just not so much on this body. Let's go ahead and swap out the hands. Let's go ahead and put on these blasting hands. And FYI, this was also another very easy swap out. And look at this. My son, what have you done to my son? I'm pretty sure Marlon Brando never struck this pose, but it just gives off, the melodramatic 70s. Let's go ahead and put him in the MCU blast off pose, where he uses his gauntlets to control his flight. And on the bottom of the feet, it looks like we've got two sets of peg holes. Looks like one for the blast off effect, and then one for any sort of stand you may want to use. But let's go ahead and get these blast off effects in here, and this looks really good. Oh man, this looks awesome. And look at that angle too. This looks good. This is cool. I am Iron Man. Something, something, something. Iron Man. Okay, I think I'm having too much fun. Now here's the part where I was like, what are these for? They don't go in the hands, so let me go ahead and Google this. Let me look at a picture online, and there we go. Because I had completely thrown away the packaging at this point. So, I figured it out. So we just got to wrap the smoke around the fire blast, and there we go. I don't like this. No, not for me. I don't like this at all. It just, I don't know. It doesn't look right. Instead of that smoke, I really would have liked some blast effects for his hands. Just, whatever. I feel like that's a missed opportunity. But let's go ahead and check out, see how he stands. Let's do the stand-up test. See how well balanced he is. And, there we go. He's well balanced. Good. With very little manipulation. You gotta give it to those chunky figures with the big feet. They always stand very well. And, I mean, you can look at, his feet aren't completely touching the table, but it still balances well. Let's go ahead and compare it to a couple of other Avengers. So we're going to go ahead and do some cheap social media magic, and we're going to bring in some Avengers. We're going to bring in... Oh, okay. Well, spoke too soon. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, alright, there we go. Alright, there. Alright. Here we got him next to Hank Pym from the Giant Man and Wasp 2-pack. And, it looks good. It's a nice size difference. Iron Man's obviously a lot bigger because of that armor and the big feet. So yeah, I think this looks good. They look good together. I think they're going to work very well with my Avengers display. So I'm happy about that. Let's go ahead and bring in another figure that recently had a review and I unboxed. We're going to bring in Thor. So, oh my goodness. And, you know, kind of the same issues I had with his review. Some of his joints, it just ain't happening. But again, Iron Man fell down too, so what can I say? So this trio looks pretty good together. I like that Thor is so much broader than Hank Pym. He's just about the same size as Iron Man. They all look good, but you know... Go! This isn't your review. Back to Iron Man. Out of all the OG Avengers I've unboxed and reviewed, I think this might be my favorite. If it's not my favorite, then it's in a close first place with the Diamond Select Hulk, which was also a very excellent figure. But this figure is fantastic. All the joints are really good. The paint application is good. The sculpting is good. It's really nice. It's a really nice figure. I'm satisfied. Okay, so final thoughts. I think this is an A+ figure. It seems basic on the surface, but it really isn't. There's a lot of detail work going on in here. There's a nice wash on it. There's detailing in the sculpt of the mask and the eye sockets. There's a little bit of paint application on the arc reactor. We've got that little antenna. The articulation is very good across the board. And the sculpt work on the articulated joints is really good looking. It's like there's it looks robotic, so it works very well. It looks really good. The figure is just very nice and streamlined. This is a great instance of less is more. This is the opposite of, say, I don't know, the Bayverse Transformers, where it's too busy and a, I don't know, overreaction to what should be a pretty basic design. And I'm really glad that Hasbro kept this thing relatively basic, with just, you know, a hint of the super detailing here and there. All of my favorite artists tend to do something like that, where they have these broad strokes, but in the corners you get all of this super detail, if that makes any sense. I didn't actually expect it, but this is probably in one of my top 10 figures that I've unboxed this year. It's really nice. My only gripe, and it's literally my only gripe, is that those smoke effects, I don't think they look very good. I don't think that it should have been transparent plastic. It probably would have looked better solid with an airbrushed gray and white in there. I think that would have looked a little better. Or just not have them at all, and have blast effects for the hands. So I guess that could be considered two gripes, but they're really connected, so I'm just going to consider it one. I really would have liked some blast effects for the hands. You even have those hands that are in that position. It seems just like a missed opportunity. But overall, I really do recommend this figure. I think it's excellent. I got mine for $25.99 at BigBadToyStore.com. I'm sure you can probably find it a little cheaper some other place, or maybe a little more expensive at this point. I'm not quite sure. I think the price it's fine. I don't know. If it was $21.99, I think that would have been a more accurate price. But man, I don't work in sales. I don't work for Hasbro. This is just me saying stuff. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. This I'm an amateur at this stuff. Where's this review going? Okay, yeah. Marvel Legends, Hasbro, you guys get a gold star. Good job. Alright folks, so that's going to wrap this review up. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.